So, Matt and Frank, you guys told me earlier this year that your approach to bringing the show back really hinged on one thing. This was a family of adventurers, but we never really got to know the family that much. So tell me a little bit about what unlocked this show, this entire experience for you.
Well, you know, we were both massive Ducktales fans growing up. And one of the great things about working in cartoons is you get to try to capture the way the cartoons made you feel when you were a kid for your kids. And Matt and I, when we were growing up, we always identified with Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby. And now that we have kids of our own, we really identify with Donald Duck. And that just felt like such a great opportunity, because at the core of this version of DuckTales is the family dynamic. You know, everyone knows the Disney Duck family has this huge history and legacy, and we thought it was great to be able to work that into the narrative at the beginning of the show. Huey, Dewey, and Louie don't know that they're related to Scrooge McDuck, and so we thought that would be a great angle to bring new viewers in, to bring kids in and get them excited as they see this huge legacy of years and years of comics and video games and cartoons. And it's almost like our kids coming up to us and saying, hey, Dad, what's this DuckTales thing all about? And we're like, well, I hope you have several hours.
And one of the keys also was determining that everybody says Huey, Dewey, and Louie in that order, but that's just how it goes. And you guys determined that that's actually their birth order, and that unlocked a lot for you, didn't it?
Yeah, we were really working hard to figure out who are these characters, because we didn't want to just, you know, relegate them to being triplets who didn't have core personalities of their own. So it was like, okay, so yeah, when you say Huey, Dewey, and Louie, yeah, that's the birth order. And so we looked at our own lives. You know, I come from a family of 9, so it was really easy to be able to look at the oldest and the middle and the youngest and be able to take personality traits and you know, characteristics of even my own family and bring them into the show and say, these are things that inform these characters really well. Being the oldest makes you a little bit more responsible. Being in the middle makes you want to stand out a little bit more. And being the youngest makes you feel like you can slide under the radar and get away with a lot. So those are things that we wanted to infuse the characters with.
Because we're reinventing DuckTales for a new generation. There's a ton of people in here who love the old show. A ton of people excited for the new show. What does that phrase kind of mean to you, and how does that seep its way into production?
Well, for me, the new generation means my kids, really. Like, my kids are the people who are going to be watching this movie. And then, you know, not just my kids, but everybody's kids. Everybody who grew up loving that original show, if they have kids, we're hoping that they will be excited to introduce our show to that generation of kids. It really is, so we're trying to make something that we are proud to show to our kids and say, this is something that we loved growing up, and this is something that we hope that you will love as well. And that's really our message for the fans, is we love the original, and we're really hoping that you love what we're doing as well.
Yeah, everybody has a different version of these characters in their head, whether they're from the original DuckTales series, the video games, and the comic, both the international and the amazing Carl Barks comics. And the thing that, yeah, please clap for Carl Barks. Every time and it's so, as Matt said, you know, we're both fathers, we have amazing girls, and there's something generational, you know, there's something that, if you're our age, when you hear the word DuckTales, you immediately go, woo, woo, yeah, exactly. And we want to be able to share that. You know, when we're in development, I remember this story about, you know, my grandmother was a seamstress. She came over from Cuba, and when she passed, we were cleaning out her house, and we found all these weird, like, newspaper clippings and some weird, like, gold coins and stuff. And I said, Mom, what's this? She was like, oh, well, you know your grandmother was the seamstress for the Shah of Iran, right? And I was like, no, why would I ever have known that? And there's something about sharing a legacy, a family legacy, and then also sharing this DuckTales legacy with families. And we're hoping that kids really get into it through Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Webby, but also that their parents will also get into it through Scrooge and Donald, that their pilots will get into it through Launchpad, that their butt-kicking housekeepers will watch while defending the house from danger. It really is a dream come true to be working on a property that's already so beloved and try to bring that to new people.
Totally. Scrooge McDuck, this iconic role. As you have been playing him more and more, what are you learning about him, and what are you sort of realizing about why he is so beloved?
Probably because you never quite get the full picture. With every episode that arises, there's a new corner of his past that is unfurled, and he's clearly been around for quite a long time. Who knows quite how long he's been around for? And so you got it. Can you give us a number?
It's higher than anyone expects.
Yeah. So there's there are kind of so many skeletons in his closet and so many adventures in his past that keep propelling the story forward. And I think he's a rolling enigma. Much like myself.
Did you get to do any kind of research into vault architecture or coins or any money-related research? The answer is no.
I lived with some mallards for a fortnight. It's just, bog standard research.